guys, happy Monday. Welcome to Christmas countdown. Countdown to Christmas break. 9.5 school days. That's all we have left. Can you believe that? Oh my goodness. So I'm going to start off today with some reminders. First thing, next Monday, the 14th, is when I'm going to do the gift card drawing. So that's a drawing for a $50 gift card in each one of my periods. So there'll be a drawing in first period, one in second period. So every period will have their own drawing. But in order to be eligible for the drawing, you must have absolutely no missing work. So even Roar at Home students are eligible for this drawing. You will be entered if you have absolutely no missing work. Then the next thing you need to do to get another chance in the drawing is to have test scores, all of them at least 70 or over. That'll give you another chance. If you have all of them that are 80 or over, that'll give you another chance. If they're all 90 or over, that'll give you your fourth chance. So you have the opportunity to get a lot of chances for this drawing, but you will not be entered at all if you have missing work. So make sure to get all of your work turned in by this Friday. Next thing is Unit 5 test is going to be next week. The Unit 5 test it's going to be this week. I'm sorry. It's going to be this week on Wednesday. So today's Monday. We will take the Unit 5 test on Wednesday. Then we will do our journal quiz, which is also a major grade. That will be on Thursday. So we have a lot of stuff coming up. And then next week, we're going to do MAP testing. So you'll be getting an email about that. And then we're going to do semester exams. So we have a lot of testing coming up, but everything's winding down for the semester, and that's just kind of how it goes. So today, we want to go to Canvas and go to the modules page. Don't forget to do your attendance check-in. You guys are doing a really good job with that. Most of you do your attendance check-ins every day, so that's great. So we're going to do this System of Linear Inequalities activity right here. So this is the last piece of Unit 5. So the last thing we're going to talk about and learn in Unit 5. Then tomorrow we'll review, and Wednesday we'll test. So click here. It's going to take you to a Desmos activity. And remember, Desmos activities are not something that you submit. When it saves your progress as you go, as long as you log in with Google. So I'm signed in with Google. If it says it gives you an option to sign in, click sign in with Google, and then make sure your name's typed to your actual name so that I can give you credit for the activity. When you hit go, it's going to bring up something like this. So this is going to kind of lead you through reviewing what linear inequalities are, and then when we have a systems. Remember, we've been talking about systems of equations, which is two lines that are graphed. And the solution to a system of equations is where those lines intersect. So you can start off by doing this. You can drag this point anywhere you want. Just kind of gives me like an idea of how you're feeling today, what kind of day you're having. I always like to know what kind of day you guys are having. So here's a little review. Systems of linear equations are two or more linear equations with common variables. So what do you think a system of linear inequalities is going to be? That's the question. So equations and inequalities. So you can just type some thinking in here. There's no right or wrong answer. So remembering how to graph linear inequalities. So remember, these are the ones that have the line and the shading, and sometimes the line is broken and it's solid. So which one of these symbols means the graph is going to have a broken or a dashed line? Well, if you remember, if your symbol has a solid line under it, it's a solid line on the graph. So if it's going to be a broken line, then our symbols cannot have lines under them. Which symbols mean it's going to have a solid line? Okay, so those are the symbols with the solid lines. Those mean that our graph is going to have a solid line on it. So then the other piece we look at is our line going to be shaded above or below? Well, it depends on your symbol. So you think above, we think if our symbol is greater than, then we shade above. And then when we have less than symbols, that's when we think below. Okay, so those are important little reviews that we need to do. So for instance, here is a graph right here. Here's a line, y less than 1/2 x minus 5. So which one of these graphs is it? Well, I can see that my symbol does not have a solid line under it, so it cannot be the graphs that have solid lines. It's going to have to be one of these two graphs on the bottom here. My line is going to have be a broken line. Then I can also see that it's a less than symbol, It's pointing to the left. That's less than. So that means I need to shade below. Less than thing, shade below. So it's got to be this one. This is the only option. And you can type that. Has to be a broken line and it's less than, so it would be shaded below. Okay, so here's this graph from the previous screen. It says which one of these points, well, you can select more than one, are going to be in the solution set of the inequality. So let's look at this one, 5, -5. So I would go over 5, and I would go down to -5. That is in the shaded area. If it's in the shaded area, it's in the solution set. What about -2, 5? So I would go over -2, up +5. No, not in the shaded area. That one's not a solution. What about 0, -5? It's right there on the line, but because it's on a broken line, no, that one's not going to be in the solution set. Remember, we only include the points in the solution set if it's on a solid line. 7, -8. So I'd go over to 7 and go down to -8. That is definitely in the shaded area. So that point is a solution. Then I have 3, 4. That's up here. It's not in this the shaded area, so it's not in the solution set. So any of the points in here, if I pick any point that's in the shaded area and I plug those values in for x and y, this would be a true statement. So 5, -5 is one example. I could put in 5 for x and -5 for y, and this would be a true statement. 7, -8, same thing. I could put in 7 for x, -8 for y, and this would be a true statement. So any of the points in the shaded area, it would be a true statement. That's what makes them solutions. Okay, well now look at this right here. How many are graphed? 1, what? I'm seeing 2. 2 inequalities are graphed on this one instead of 1. Well, since we have 2 or more, that makes it a system of inequalities. Same thing with lines. If you have 2 lines, it's a system of equations. But because now we have 2 inequalities, it's a system of inequalities now. So from here on out, I want you to kind of discover the rest on your own. Before that was just kind of a review of what we've learned. So remember, the solution set for one inequality, the point had to be in the shaded region. Well, if it's going to be a point that's in the solution set of a system, it cannot be in the unshaded area. But guess what? It also can't be in the shaded area if it's by itself. The only points that are going to work for both inequalities, the 2 in the system, well, it has to be in the overlapping shaded region, the part that's a shaded region for both of them. So the only point here that's in the solution set for the system is going to be A. It has to be in both of the shaded regions. So I tell you that here. That's what I'm explaining to you on this screen. So you're going to keep going. So now they want you to figure out, well, which one of these would be the graph of that system. So you need to look and see, what do you know about the symbols? Greater than, less than, solid, broken lines, okay? That's what you're looking for. Then you're going to try and pick, well, which of the points would be in the solution set, okay? So remember, I told you it has to be points that are in the overlapping shaded region, okay? So I really feel like there's just a couple more problems that you can work your way through these and kind of try to figure them out. This is very straightforward. It's related very much to just graphing one inequality, linear inequality. Now you're graphing 2, and your solution set is just going to be the overlapping shaded region. Okay, so I'm going to stop the video here, and I'm going to let y'all finish this on your own. If you have questions, you can send me an email. We can try to schedule a video conference or something and work through it together.